The three materials that you want to be looking out for in the beginning are branches, which look like this on the ground. We can just walk up to them and it says in the bottom left, press left mouse button to collect branches. So we left click, that will gather branches. And if we tab into our inventory, we can see that we grab one branch. Another resource is flint that looks like this. If we're close to it, it says in the bottom left, press a left mouse button to collect flint. So we left click, that will start gathering flint. We press tab to check our inventory and we see that we indeed have one flint. And the last resource is berries and fibers, both of which are on berry bushes, which look like this. If we're close to it, it says press left mouse button to collect berries. So we left click. We are gathering berries. And if we tab into our inventory, we can see that we got one berry and 2 fiber out of each berry bush. So whenever you're starting out and you're going towards a place where you want to start your town or want to join a town, it is usually a good idea to just gather branches and berries and flint along the way. If you're moving towards your desired location, but you get hungry, you can use branches to make a fire pit and cook bloodberry field bars. So if we press B to open our build menu and we go to the food category. In the food category, we can see that the first option is a fire pit. Fire pits can be made everywhere with 3 branches. If you left click on the fire pit icon, it will put the blueprint for the fire pit underneath your mouse cursor. As you can see, it will be gray if you can place it and red if it is obstructed. For instance, if we hover over the tree here, we can hold down the right mouse button to change the orientation, even though the thing is square. To place it, simply left click and then walk up to it. And when we're close, we can see that it requires 3 branches and should be built with our hands. So with branches in our inventory, we can simply hold down the left mouse button and that will start building the fire pit. With the fire pit built, we can press E to open its inventory. In the right side, we can see the production panel and underneath that, the fuel panel. So to produce something, we put the raw resources into the fire pit by simply left-clicking on the berries, for instance, in our inventory. That will put it into the production panel of the fire pit, and it will tell us that there is no fuel. For fuel, we can use branches or fiber. I prefer to use fiber, so if we left-click on fiber, it will go into the fuel slot. We can see that it provides fuel for 1 minute, and to make berries into usable food, it will take 30 seconds of fire. Once the berries are cooked, we can see that we have a bloodberry field bar in the fire pit's production panel. And if we escape out of the menu, we can see that black smoke is coming off the fire pit, indicating that our food is ready. So we press E again to open it up. We left click on the bloodberry field bar and that will put it into our inventory. For now, escape out again. We can see that the smoke turned from black to white again, indicating that something is cooking, also indicated by the pot having some contents. To eat the berries that we just made, we press a tab to open our inventory and we make sure that the bloodberry field bar is inside our right-hand slot. So if we left click on it, we can see that it goes into our right-hand slot. We press tab to tab out of our inventory. We press a 1 to equip what is in our right hand. And in the top left, we can see that we equipped our bloodberry field bar. If we look at our character, we can see that we have the bloodberry field bar in our right hand. And if we simply left click, we will start eating it. After we ate the bloodberry field bar, we can see that our hunger meter, our health meter, and our stamina meter increased. It did do nothing for our temperature. If you want to start your own town, you will need a settlement center. And to be able to make a settlement center, you need 15 branches. To make one, we press B to open the build menu. And in the general category, the first category, we can see that the settlement center is currently grayed out. That is because we are close to another town. So if we press M to open the map, we can see that we are close to Turnham, which is going to have an influence area of roughly this size. So we need to move out of the influence area of Turnham. We occasionally check our build menu if the option for a settlement center already is colored. To build a settlement center, we press B, we click on the settlement center, which will give us the blueprint, right mouse button to turn it around, and a left mouse button to place it, and we can just walk up to it, hold down the left mouse button and build. Then we want to make our claim. So press B again, and we select homestead. And I put my homestead there. We need 5 branches. I should have 5 branches. Left click to put the branches in. Now, do I want to join this homestead? Homesteads are your base for progression within a settlement and allow you to build and own structure and asset. Joining a homestead will remove you from your prior homestead. So join. Next up, as we can see, we need to build a house and a bed. Let me build a house. So we can build a house, which is in the house category, house, 5 sticks. All right, house is built. Now we need a bed, right? It doesn't come with beds. So for a bed, B, we just do a double bed. That's 20 plus 2, so we need a lot of sticks. We press B to open the build menu, go to the housing category and select the bunk bed. Left click to confirm our blueprint and hold down the left mouse button to submit the materials. Once the bed is built, we press E to open it up and we click the flag button to claim our bed. If you want to join an existing town, you come to the homestead marker and you press E to open it up and you can see the members that are in it. If you are not part of the homestead yet and it is a public one, you can go to the actions panel and you can click the join homestead button. If the homestead is not public, you can build your own homestead marker by pressing B and in the general category, select the homestead marker, which will cost you 5 branches. So they are very small. They are only an indicator and a place where you pay your taxes. So if you want to place it, you can simply place it next to the existing homestead marker. Once you are part of a homestead, you need to put a bed inside a house. So if there is no house available, you need to build yourself a house. And if there is space in the house, you can just place a bed there. To be able to make tools like hammers, pickaxes, axes, and spears, we need a workbench. To make a workbench, we need 5 branches. And if we press B to open the build menu and we go to the normal category, we can see that the first option is a workbench. If we left click on the workbench icon, that will put the blueprint for the workbench underneath our mouse cursor. If we hold down the right mouse button, we can change the orientation of our blueprint. If we cannot place the blueprint, it will turn red and will say build site obstructed or that we are too far from the player to build. If we are happy with the orientation and the place where we want to build our workbench, we can simply left click and that will place the blueprint. Walk up to it and we can see that it says 5 branches required and we need to build it with our hands. So we can simply, with the 5 branches in our inventory, hold down the left mouse button and build the workbench. Now that the workbench is built, we can press E to open the workbench menu. And in the workbench, we can see in the top the production panel where the different tools are available. And in the bottom is the inventory of the workbench. If we hover, for instance, over the flint spear, we can see that that will require 3 branches, 3 flint, and 1 fiber. And for a flint axe, we need 3 branches, 2 fiber, and 2 flint. Now, with the materials in our player inventory, if we try to make a flint axe and we left click, we can see that it says not enough resources. That is because the resources for your tools need to be in the inventory of the workbench. So we can left click on the materials in our inventory and that will transfer them one at a time, or we can simply right click on them and that will move an entire stack at once. So we do the same thing for the fiber and the flint. Now that we have the branches, the fiber, and the flint inside our workbench, we can make ourselves a flint axe. For instance, to do that, we simply left click on the flint axe icon. That will put it into the production queue and it will take 30 seconds to complete. If we also want a flint spear, we can add a flint spear to the production queue as well. It will go behind the one we already have. Once the production of a tool is ready, the tool will go into the right side of the inventory panel of the workbench. As we can see, we now have both the flint axe and the flint spear in the inventory of the workbench. To get it into our own inventory, we can simply left click on the axe and that will go into our inventory. Same goes for the flint spear. If we left click, it goes into our inventory. If we escape out of this menu and we want to equip the flint axe, for instance, we press tab. We make sure that the flint axe is in our right hand slot. And when it is in our right hand slot, we can press 1 and that will equip the flint axe. To be able to make planks, we need a sawbuck and a axe. If we press B to open the build menu and we go to the wood chopping category, we can see that the sawbuck will cost us 8 branches. Now, to make the sawbuck, we press B to open the build menu. We go to the wood chopping category. We left click on the sawbuck. That will place the blueprint of the sawbuck underneath our mouse cursor. We can simply hold down the right mouse button to change the orientation. If we're happy with it, we left click. That will place the sawbuck on the ground. We can walk up to it, and with branches in our inventory, as we can see in the middle, it says how many branches are required and with what to build, our hands. To use the sawbuck, we press E to open it up, and we can see that we can choose between 2 products. We can change logs into branches or logs into wood planks. Since we want wood planks, we select the wood planks. Trees come in 3 distinct ages, so there is the seedling, which look like this, and if we chop down a seedling, we get nothing. We just kill the seedling. If we go to a juvenile, for instance, the pine trees juvenile look like this. If we chop that one down by holding down the left mouse button and it falls, we can see that it drops a 1 log. And if we press tab, we didn't get a seed. If we go to the adult tree over here and we chop down the adult tree by holding down the left mouse button, we can see that it falls into 2 logs. And if we press tab, we got a Northasturian pine seed into our inventory as soon as we chopped it down. We come to a log that is on the ground, press E to pick it up. So we are carrying it over our shoulder, walk up to the sawbuck and left click. That will submit it into the sawbuck. If we press E, we can see that there is 1 Northasturian pine log in the sawbuck. We can grab more, walk up to it, place it, grab a 3rd one. Now, to turn these logs into planks, we equip our axe by pressing 1. We can see that we have our flint axe equipped in the top left, and we simply hold down the left mouse button to chop on the sawbuck. If we zoom in, we can see that over time, the model in the sawbuck changes from a log to a log going into planks and then finally into planks. It moves over to the new log. So if we press E to open the sawbuck, we can see that we have 4 planks. That was the first log. 1 log is in between a log and planks, and we still have 1 log left. So if we keep chopping until we have planks and we now press E to open the sawbuck again, we can see that we have 2 times 4 planks, and we have 1 full log. If we change our mind and want to turn the last log into branches, we can click on the selector, select branches, and use our axe to turn the log into branches. And once that is finished, we can see that there is a heap of branches in the sawbuck. If we open the sawbuck again, we can see that we have 6 branches out of the Austrian pine log, and that we have 4 planks out of each Austrian pine log. To grab these, we can simply right-click on the branches. That will transport 6 branches straight into our inventory. And if we right-click on the planks, it will only transport 1. So we can either left-click or right-click because they don't stack in your inventory anymore. Animal fat is a required building material for some buildings. And it can be obtained by either killing a deer or killing boar. Now, the easiest way is to use flint spears because they are available to everybody with a workbench. We press tab to open our inventory. We can see that we have one flint spear that is already in our right-hand slot. We tab out, press 1 to equip it, and if we hold down the right mouse button, we can see a throwing arc for our spear. We can see white where it will fly and red of where it interacts with something in the world, in this case the deer. If we aim at the torch over here and we left click to throw, it will put our spear just against the torch because it doesn't go any further. You can pick up spears again by standing over it, and in the bottom left it says press E to pick up flint spear. Now spears are hard to spot, especially during the night, so if you don't know where your spear is, you can hold down your left Alt key and that will highlight items on the ground that can be picked up. If you hover over it, we can even see the spear icon, so we know where our spear is. We come towards our spear, press E to pick it up when we see that in the bottom left. That will put it back into our right-hand spot. We can press 1, that will equip it. And now we aim at the deer and we left-click to throw at the deer. We can see that we killed it in a 1 throw, which is not normal because normally it takes 2. If we stand over the deer, we can see if we hold down the left Alt that our spear is here, that there is leather and there is some meat. So first we pick up our spear. We stand over the deer and we can see in the bottom left it says press E to pick up deer meat. So we press E to pick it up and we see that it also says press E to pick up leather, and that will pick up the deer leather. If we now press tab, we can see that we have 1 deer meat, which is spoiling pretty fast, 1 animal fat, which also comes from the deer, and 1 piece of leather. Animal fat can be stored inside a resource stockpile, and if you don't want to put it in a resource stockpile, you can put animal fat inside chests. Another source of animal fat is boars, so if we find boars, we can press M to open the map and look for boar spawns or deer spawns on the map. We go for boars, we find a boar, and with our spear out, we right-click to aim, and while we throw with the left mouse button, we hit the boar, and as soon as we hit the boar, we can see that the boar takes off. If we want to find our spear back, we hold down the left Alt. We can see that it is highlighted over here. We press E to grab our spear, press 1 to equip it back on, and we aim at the same boar, and we left click to throw. We can see that it takes 2 spear throws to take out a boar. If we now grab our flint spear over here, and we stand over the boar body, if we zoom in, we can see that it says press E to pick up boar meat and press E to pick up leather. When we did that, if we press a tab, we can see in our inventory that we have a boar meat, animal fat, and leather. To get animal bones, we need to kill wolves or bears. Wolves can be found usually around a trader or just in normal wolf dens. So there should be a wolf den to the east of our town. So we aim our spear at the red wolf over there. And we can see that it runs away. And we try to find the red wolf again, which is over there. We approach it from the back. When we stab it, it runs away. When it attacks us, the best course of action is to start stabbing without throwing, so just simply a left click. Once it died, we can stand over it, and we can see in the bottom left that it says press E to pick up common meat, so a red wolf will give you 2 common meat, and if we press E again, we should get 2 animal bones and 1 animal fat as well. One way to get stone bricks is by farming wild spawning stone. So there are wild spawning stone outcrops that look like this. If we are close to it and we have our pickaxe equipped, we can see that in the bottom left it says press left mouse button to collect stone cutoff. So if we hold down the left mouse button, we start mining the wild spawning stone. Once we mined the outcrop, we can see that it drops stone cutoffs on the ground, and to pick them up we can simply press E and that will pick up the stone cutoffs. If we now press tab, we can see that we have 4 stone cutoffs from a wild spawning stone outcrop. With the stone cutoffs in our inventory, we come to the stone cutter in our town. And if we press E to open the stone cutter, we can see that there is an inventory panel. If we put the stone cutoffs into the inventory panel by right-clicking on the stone cutoffs in our inventory, and we check the stone cutter production panel, we can see that there is an option to make stone bricks out of 3 stone cutoffs. So 3 stone cutoffs will make 1 stone brick. Since we have 9 stone cutoffs, we can make 3 stone bricks with the stone cutoffs that we have. One way of getting iron is by mining so-called wild spawning iron, like over here. If we are close to it, we can see that we can collect iron ore fragments. For that, we need a flint pickaxe, which we can make in the workbench. Once we smash the wild spawning iron, we can see that there are iron ore fragments on the ground. To pick them up, we can simply press E and that will put them into our inventory. We can take our iron ore fragments back to our town. And in our town, if we come to the furnace over here, we can press E to open it up and we can put the iron ore fragments into the furnace. And if we make sure that there is enough fuel, we can see that it will start making iron ingots. 3 iron ore fragments will be turned into a 1 iron ingot over the course of 1 minute. So you need to be sure that there is at least fuel for a 1 minute in your furnace.